everyone. Let's keep this intense, super intense action going here. And finally in that combat music. Oh, hey there, innkeeper. Didn't think this was actually an inn. How about that? I have a matchbook about this place. Cool. Found it on a dead man at the IFS Zephyr crash. Did you know him? Who? Well, it's the strangest tale, really. Late one night I noticed all manner of strange light and sound emanating from the ring. Not long after the ruckus had ceased, a hag... Oh, it's that guy! Yeah, we remember that guy. A haggard and disheveled man arrived here inquiring about a room for the night. The poor fellow looked quite a fright. Really, what was so strange about him? He had quite an odd look about him, gaunt, clean-shaven, with the features and clothing of a dwarf. Yet he could not possibly have been a dwarf. No dwarf I have ever heard of would sacrifice his beard to the knife. Even today I cannot say I truly knew his race. Was there anything else? He had no coin about him. I was about to turn him away when he offered me an exceptionally fine dwarven blade as compensation. A beautiful piece it was, etched, inscribed with the initials BMC. Fetched quite a price when I sold it. Did he say anything to you? The only inquiry he made of me was for the quickest route to Tarant. I told him that this was not only a lengthy journey, but that he was in luck. The maiden voyage of the IFS Zephyr would be leaving from Caledon shortly. It was surely to be the quickest way to Tarant. It was not luck that brought people aboard that doomed ship. Yes, the Zephyr was such an incredible tragedy. Oh yes, I let him know that he would need proper identification aboard. He looked the type to be lacking such joy, so I referred him to a man I had heard of in Caledon. Mr. Razia, rather a shady character, but helpful when it comes to passports. So he left for the Zephyr. You are sure of this? He thanked me and went to his room. When I woke the next morning, he was gone. He did not say a word, just left. Oh, well, I told you he was a strange one. Anyway, that is the only person I know that would have been on the accursed flight. Thank you for the information. Could you answer some more questions? What was strange about him? Was there anything else? Did he say anything to you? So he left for the Zephyr. Can I ask some more questions? Could you tell me about Victor Misk? I'll be leaving now. Victor Misk, yes. Hello. Greetings. What have you heard, madam? Sure. Do you know, friend? No, can't say that I have. I'll be leaving then. What do you know, friend? Nope, can't say that I have. Looking for one of these bastards to aggro on me, and it'll probably be that group over there. Ha 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 ha. Called me a peasant. Called me a peasant, air conditioner. Fine, it is your death, fool. Virgil, are you seriously fucking using that gun? Virgil. God damn it, Virgil. Look away for 2 fucking seconds. What is it that you want of me? Virgil. You weren't using that gun in it. Oh, fuck you, Java. What do we say to the Java update, kids? Not today. Look, everyone. It's Java update. And by revealing that information, I have inevitably compromised the security on my computer, thus allowing you all to access it. And thus you too can edit my videos. Hack into my computer and edit my videos today for me. As if I do any editing. Be realistic. Give me these bullets. Where are they? You're not allowed to have bullets anymore. Give them to me. Bad Virgil. I'm not playing that damn game. So quiet now. So peaceful now. Locked? Oh, right, the shovel is there. I'm a twat. Oh my god, and I ended last video with that stupid shit in my head. Oh man. God damn it. So dumb. I've been scolded by 17 people in the comments of last video, I'm sure. Okay. Even more okay. What? Oh. Wrong spell. Bread! Water and wine. Awesome. I unlocked the barrels, everyone. It's because I'm a fucking source of nerve pills. Ooh, fancy. Don't mind me, I'm just walking around, breaking into your places. I am a master thief, if you understand. Hello, innkeeper. That's kinda creepy in multiple ways. I'm sure you're not actually real, though. Guys, why did you do that to her? What did she ever do to you? Why you gotta be such a dick about it? Damn. Fucking killed her and everything. Fucking assholes. Like, she just wanted to live. You just, like, fucking ended her existence. Like, dudes. What the fuck? Well, oh well. What did she have on her? Out of curiosity, before I load that game, another medallion of beauty. Da-da-da. An arcane ring. Da-da-da. I like it. Staff of healing. That's probably what she was using to try to not die. I can respect that. You know? That whole, like, lack of desire to die. I get that. The alignment point only went down by 1. I'm still a goody two-shoes, right, everyone? Wink, wink, right? Wink, wink. Right? I saw that guard who was walking around here, too. Oh, the key isn't good for the barrels. Of course it isn't. That would be too fucking convenient. We'll take those to sell them, I guess. Guard walking around the place. As he does. Invisible villagers with whom I have no quarrel. Oh, it's just a... Apparently it's just a villager guy. That's cool. How's it going? Any news passed by this way lately? Cool. Anything else? Alright. Fascinating. Oh, in robbery. I see. Oh my! He tried to break into the castle. It's terrible. What a rude man, indeed. Yes, this inn. We're here right now. No, digging up graves in the cemetery. Most tragic indeed. Jason C. Guy. He's studying the Ring of Brugda. Okay, north along the coast. That's cool. Oh, man. What rubbish indeed. As if such a thing could possibly exist. Anyway, thank you. You have been most helpful, good sir. Time to take a bath. Da-da-da. That poor innkeeper. I almost feel bad enough to load the game. Who am I kidding? We're saving, baby. I got free magic shit. That is the most compelling argument for anything. I mean, I say that, but then I let Magnus die, so clearly my greed isn't all-consuming, and apparently my key doesn't work on this door. Well, I'll let those guys hang out in there. And I see that half-elf villager. He thinks he's all sneaky and hiding and shit. Yes, he does. But Grimith sees. Grimith sees. Anyway, that's enough of that. I don't much care about bothering him. I didn't realize this was an inn. I thought it was like a cathedral or something. I mean, look at it, you know? Perhaps it was a former cathedral reconstituted as an inn. Anyway, we got a lot of different cool places around here that we can go visit. So that's pretty fun. Let's go visit. Grimith, Grimith the Explorer. Grimith the Explorer. Here's a cemetery. These graves are freshly filled. I have a shovel so I could dig them up. That didn't really do anything because I wasn't using the shovel. I wonder if these gravestones say anything different. Told you I was sick. Owing more than he could pay. Quoth the raven nevermore. Blah, 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 blah. Here lies Philip Misk, everyone. Shovel.
What is it that you want of me?
Give me shovel. Gib. Give it to me, Virgil. Uh-huh. Well, guys, I got some news. We seem to have found the thing. And if we did find the thing indeed, then these are dark times. I've also got some skulls. That's pretty cool. Also got some nerve pills. I dedicate this to my dearest Raven. I would gladly face again these horrors and 1,000 others for only another moment with you. Aww. I know who Raven is. Yeah. Whatever. Dearest reader, it is only with the greatest fear and trepidation that I share this harrowing tale with you today. Even here, safe within the confines of my own home, I am still overcome with dread at the thought of what I am about to tell you, and what it might mean for me or those close to me. In it I feel compelled to do so, and the great muse guides my pen to this paper, and the words flow forth from the darkest regions of my heart and mind, where they have stayed well hidden until this very evening. I beg of you, give ear to my confession, and if it please you, take this tale from me, and return only your belief and trust that what you are about to hear is only and nothing but the truth. My name is Rinford A. Terwilliger, born of the outlying regions of Ashbury, not far from the land there of Bellerogrim, where they found the bones of the great dragon. My childhood was a bright one, full of happiness and light, and my parents gave to me all that a child might need. I was schooled, both practically and excellently, and when my 18th year came round, I was accepted into Toronto University, and ultimately found my way into the Torontian Zoological Society. Archaeology was first love, but my first assignment with the society was with the Cultural Anthropology Department. It was somewhat of a farce, actually, but the society had been given an enormous grant by one of Toronto's leading philanthropists for a very specific purpose. That purpose was to confirm the existence of the Dark Elves, whom I have fought earlier in the series. Every man, woman, and child in Arcanum has been raised on ghost stories and bedtime tales of these strange people known only as the Dark Elves. To the anthropologist, they are the proverbial oasis in the desert. Proof of their existence has always literally disappeared into the air. No man had ever set eyes upon them, and not one shred of physical evidence had ever been found to establish that they were real. Myths and legends were plentiful, but for the itinerant scientist, these mean less than nothing. What was needed was undeniable evidence, and I set out on this adventure with determination and confidence in my ability to bring forth just that. Had I known what lay ahead, I would have forsworn both anthropology and philanthropy, and returned to work as a day laborer in the Ashbury shipyards. Better the back-breaking work than the nightmares I face every night. By the way, I think I'm pretty much going to have to stop the session after reading this book. The print is so small that my eyes are not okay with it. Before leaving Tarant, I employed the services of a certain Jaren Benal, an elven tracker who was recommended to me by the noble Mr. Quentin Payne, famed explorer and gentleman in every sense of the word. Jaren Benal had been born in the glimmering forest, and it was said there wasn't a more knowledgeable man about the deep elven groves this side of the Stonewall Mountains. His fees were a little less than reasonable, but I had been given enormous liberty in spending the allotted funds, and it was my honest opinion that Mr. Benal was crucial to the success of the mission. I couldn't have been more correct. Within weeks we were well within the deepest and yet uncharted regions of the western glimmering, and never once did the unflappable Mr. Benal look to his compass or consult a map. Occasionally he would stand for a moment within a clearing or beneath a great tree, head cocked, eyes closed, but aside from these infrequent moments of meditation, it was all we could do to keep up with him. Upon the 42nd day of our journey we came to a great meadow, seemingly alive with a multitude of birds and butterflies that flew above it. Crossing this fragrant and lively field was one of the most vivid moments I'd experienced on the journey so far, and I was so enthralled by the scene around me that I almost missed the most spectacular vision given to the eyes of mortal man. Kintara, the great elven tree city, lay within the towering trees at the end of the clearing, hanging like a cut jewel in the crown of a king. The mother tree, almost 400 feet tall, housed the intricately carved Hall of Truth, which shone white and smooth in the noonday sun. Impossibly thin walkways wove in and out of the boughs of the great tree boughs. Whatever, not taking away from its natural beauty, but adding to it, as if the city were merely a convenient and beautiful tangle of leaves and branches tattooed with the flowing runes and symbols in the ancient elven tongue, and among these the graceful and lithe forms of the elves singing their beautiful songs and looking down upon the ragtag group of men with curiosity and amusement. Of Kintara I can say only this: the month I spent there was the best of my entire life. I learned much less about the Dark Elves than I would have liked, almost nothing at all really, but the moments I spent there were strange and wonderful and breathtaking, and I will not do them a disservice by attempting to put them into words. Suffice it to say that I learned there as a young man what often takes others a lifetime, and to my teacher I give heartfelt thanks and the warmest greetings. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of you. Aw, Raven. We left the trees of Kintara with little more than faint whispers about the Dark Elves and where they might be found. The Elves of Kintara were very reluctant to speak of them, and they begged us to forget such foolishness and to go home in Tarant. I, of course, would hear no such talk, and we traveled on, north this time, as Mr. Benal believed he had uncovered a clue as to their whereabouts during his investigations while in Kintara, and he had discovered a name: Senong, the home of the Dark Elves. I considered in the last page why Virgil hadn't chosen to interrupt me. I'm actually pleased. We traveled for 17 more days, exhausting our supplies and sending most of the party back to Tarant. The forest had become thicker, more brambly, and it seemed that many of the trees were adorned with thorns, some more than a foot long. Another week and it was only Mr. Benal and myself, and we had agreed to return before the first of the month if we failed to find any further evidence of the Dark Elves' existence. That gave us 6 days to find Senong, and we pressed on despite our anxiety and fatigue. On the day before we had planned to return, of course, the weather took a vicious turn. From out of the north came dark thunderheads, and lightning flew down from the sky, like barbed lances of white fire. It began to rain, and we found an uneasy shelter beneath the massive roots of one of the great trees, which seemed poised over us like a giant and grotesquely gnarled hand. I was shivering, and not altogether from the cold and rain. Weird shadows played against the trunks of trees as the storm strengthened and the lightning became more frequent. Thunder tore the sky above our heads. I looked at Mr. Benal, and for the first time since we left Durant, I saw fear reflected in his eyes. I can't say when I first became aware of them, but one moment, while looking out through the rain, I began to notice shadows that stayed even after lightning had subsided. Those shadows became phantoms, the phantoms something worse. They were stock still, tall and wiry, ghostly faces the color of ivory with eyes of the blackest night. Their hair hung in limp strands against their foreheads and cheeks, and they stood unblinking, oblivious to the storm and its ragings. Benal screamed something to my right and then was pulled bodily from our shelter to the roots above. He screamed once more, and then was silent. I never heard from him, nor saw him again. I ran headlong past the elves in front of me, swinging blindly to clear a path. I was mad with fear, and my feet carried me deeper into the forest.
I thought I heard dark and twisted laughter above and behind me, and shadowy figures darted among the trees to my left and right. Thorns tore at my arms and legs, and I stumbled among stones in the underbrush, screaming incoherently. More than once, great elven arrows sunk into the trees around me, grazing my skin as they flew by. They were playing with me, enjoying the hunt, waiting for just the right moment. My head was light from exhaustion and blood loss, and I fell to my knees, gasping for air. There, when I looked up, I saw it. There, in the trees above me, was Senong, the home of the Dark Elves. Unlike Kintara, Senong was an abomination, slouched in the branches like a great beast waiting for its prey. There were sputtering fires all along its battlements, and great spikes protruding from every surface like dragon spines. And I saw robed figures, gaunt and terrible, lined along its walkways and looking down upon me, beckoning, it seemed, for me to join them. I screamed again, and the figures seemed to raise their voices in unison, a terrible call without sound or meaning, but I heard them nonetheless. They were cursing me. They were welcoming me. In moments I was surrounded again by my pursuers. Through the downpour I saw them unsheath daggers, their ghostish smiles floating towards me as the thunder roared above. I closed my eyes, praying to whatever God would hear me. There was nothing else I could do. And then, from nowhere, arrows were flying from behind me and above me. In moments, I was encircled completely with the half-buried shafts of the thickest hunting arrows, and the dark elves around me whirled to and fro in confusion. One pulled his bow from his back, and notched an arrow in one flowing moment, but was shot through the heart before he'd raised it past his shoulder. He fell silently, unbelieving. The others looked at me for a moment, the purest hatred harbored in their eyes, and then disappeared into the night, hands conspicuously at their sides. Amazed and spent, I fainted. I awoke some days later, many miles from northern reaches of the Glimmering. I was alone, but my wounds had been treated, and my supplies had been replenished. I was back in Tarant, not 2 weeks later. I never met my rescuers, but I can guess who they were and where they were from, and I thank them if they are reading this. Without their aid, I surely would have died there in the shadow of Senong. And so, dear friend, again, I beg of you to believe these words and the man who has told them to you. I do so only to share this burden with others, to gain comfort among those of my kind. At the very least, let these words stand as a warning to you. Often, evil is a tangible thing, and sometimes it is a people and a place. Such are the Dark Elves, and such is the hell that is called their home. I have never returned to the Glimmering Forest, and I pray that I never do. Some things are better left alone. Well, looks like we got the book. And, we found Author Tyrant, of course. And yes, lots of proof. Kill a guy. We basically failed that investigation, I think, without spending one of those fate points, which I've never spent at all. Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
What is it that you want?
Virgil!
What can I answer for you? Well, as ill-advised as it may be, it seems we need to go and speak with the Dark Elves in Senang.
Senang. Senang. These crazy fictitious pronunciations. Well.
Hey, Jorbud. Well, glad we read this. Basically, by the light of the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there. Do I care about, like, looting these other graves? Nah, I think I'll leave them in peace. Alright, well, that takes care of this session. As I noted, my eyes are sore, and my throat has gotten quite a bit of work. Not just in this session, but the entire time I've been awake. So, I'm going to stop the session for here. Hopefully I'll pick up playing Arcanum a bit sooner, since I know that I'll be continuing the series. And maybe we'll go speak with some Dark Elves next time. I know I just saved, but yeah, I just saved. Just wanted to make sure. I knew, but I didn't really know. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you later.